search for information will play a significant role in your life as a student at the University of Iowa. That search will often bring you here, to the main library. Hello, I'm Greg Wike, and I'll be your host on a tour of the University of Iowa Library. By the end of this tour, you should have a fundamental understanding of the system, and you should know how to go about acquiring the information you'll need. Okay, let's start here. This is the main library building. It's the largest part of the University of Iowa library system. There are an additional 12 departmental libraries located around the campus, each focusing on particular areas of study. You'll become more acquainted with the departmental libraries as the need for specific information arises. Let's go inside and have a look around. As you might expect, the materials found here in the main library are those not found in the departmental libraries. Generally, this amounts to materials in the humanities and the social sciences. Now, our basic way of operating here is the self-service system. This system allows you to browse through the stacks and search for your own material. Of course, with this system, it is important for you to know what material you want and then to find it and check it out. That may seem like a lot of responsibility, but don't worry. There are people here whose job it is to help you. More about them later. The first area we're going to discuss is the card catalog. In many ways, it serves as the library's central nervous system. To give you a frame of reference, this map shows you a layout of the first floor. This is where we came in, the north entrance. Sometimes you'll need assistance. When you do, go to the area now flashing the information reference desk. The area now being colored in is the card catalog section. It is this area that will provide you access to the library's more than 2.5 million volumes. This is sometimes referred to as the master card catalog because even the materials located in the departmental libraries are listed here. So, this is the place to start if you're uncertain about where a book you're after is located. Let's say, for example, you're looking for a book about emotional disorders. Well, if it's a psychiatry book, it may be at the Health Sciences Library. But if it's a psychology book, it should be at the Psychology Library. On the other hand, if it's a popular psychology book, it will probably be here in the main library. Rather than going from one departmental library to another and finding the book via the process of elimination, just start here at the master card catalog in the main library. It will tell you the call number and indicate which library has the book. Because having a working knowledge of how to use the card catalog is so important, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about it. Now, the first thing you should know is that the cards in the card catalog list the library's books in 3 ways: by the title of the book, by the author's last name, and by the subject of the book. All 3 types of cards are inter-filed alphabetically. That might sound confusing, but really it's quite simple. For example, let's say you want a book by an author named James Fraser. But you can't remember the title of the book, although you'd recognize it if you saw it. Now first, you'd work your way alphabetically to the author's last name, followed by the first name. Now if the book is in the system, you should find a card for it. There it is, Myths of the Origin of Fire. As you can see, author cards have the author's name at the top of the card. Also, be aware, author cards are often referred to as main entry cards. Now let's say the situation is a bit different. This time, you know the name of the book is Myths of the Origin of Fire, but you can't recall or don't know the name of the author. So, this time you're looking for a title card rather than an author card. Again, you'd proceed alphabetically, this time to the M section of the card catalog, and begin your search. Oh, by the way, if the title of your book begins with the, a, or n, ignore it and look under the next word in the title. Okay, here we are in the M's. Mork, Morse, mythology. Let's see, it should be right back here. There it is. Now remember, title cards have the titles on the top. Now, let's say you have neither a title nor an author's name in mind. You just want to get some information about fire. Again, Use the same alphabetical sequence as we did with author and title cards. Okay, now, this is the F section, and the subject fire should be here. There it is. Myths of the origin of fire. I'm just going to write this call number down so I can look it up later on the 5th floor. GR 495 F7 1930 A. Now remember, subject cards have the subject on the top line of the card in red or capital letters. Sometimes you might not be able to find the subject you're after. That could mean you're looking under the wrong word or phrase. If that does happen, just ask for help at the information reference desk. Now, you probably noticed that in the upper left corner of each card are a few lines of numbers and letters. These are called the book's call number. Basically, the call number is the book's address. Write all that information down and then refer to any of the charts on the tables by the catalogs. These charts explain where the different call numbers can be found. Now, if the book is not in the main library, as is the case with this one, the card will indicate which departmental library has it. For example, this book can be found in the Health Sciences Library. So, remember these main points about locating material using the card catalog. First, keep in mind that all books in the library system, including material at the departmental libraries, are listed in the main library card catalog. Next, remember that all books are listed by author, by title, and by subject. Third, the information in the upper left corner of each card is the call number. That is the address of the book you're searching for. And finally, refer to the chart on the tables by the catalogs or at the information reference desk. This chart will indicate where the various call numbers are located within the library system. I've mentioned the information reference desk quite a few times. This is where you should go when you need assistance. The people behind the desk are here to help you, so please don't be shy about asking them. If there is something you can't find, or if you're just not sure about how to search for something, just ask someone behind the desk for help. We're now going to visit another area you'll find useful, the reference alcoves. As our map shows, it's located west of the information reference desk. The reference alcove area contains books that you might refer to for resource information. Included here are who's who type dictionaries, regular dictionaries, almanacs, and encyclopedias. Also located here are bibliographies. Bibliographies are lists of books or articles on a particular subject or by a particular person or published or located in a particular place. Now, as you can imagine, the books here will often serve as a valuable resource during the early phases of a research project. However, there are many books here, and finding the one you want may present a bit of a problem at first. Be assured, though, there is some logic to how they are arranged, and all these reference books are listed in the card catalog. But until you become more acquainted with how to find just what you're after, you may need some assistance. If you do, don't hesitate to ask someone at the information reference desk for help. That's what they're there for. You know, many students seem to have some irrational fear about asking the people at the information reference desk for help. I wonder what's going through their minds.
Darn, I wonder what that information could be listed under. Maybe I should ask for help.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, you, come on. Oh. Well, hello, friend. And what can we do for you today?
Well, if it's not too much trouble, I'm trying to find out how certain congressmen voted on defense spending, and I guess I don't know where to look. And I thought maybe you might be able to help.
Oh, what? Let me see if I got that right. You mean you don't know where to find a congressional voting record? And you call yourself a college student?
Well,
Hey, Fred, Mabel, get a load of this college student. Everybody, hey, everybody, come here and get a load of this college student. Doesn't even know where the phone is, because the phone is there.
she doesn't look that ignorant.
They go back to grade school, sweetheart.
Grade school. Why, what will we?
Try this on for size.
Yes, can I help you? Can I help you?
Well, I hope so. I'm trying to find information on how Midwestern congressmen voted on defense spending during the last 20 years, and I haven't had much luck.
Let's see, I think your best bet is to try the Almanac for American Politics, which is on reserve on the second floor. If you don't find what you're looking for there, come back and let me know. There's some other options we can try.
Really? Great. Geez, that wasn't so horrible after all. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Much of the research that you'll be doing in the next few semesters will require current topical information. This type of material is often more likely to be found in journals or magazines than in books. That's where this area will prove invaluable. This is the periodical index section of the library. It provides references to journals and magazines, just as a card catalog does for books. This library subscribes to over 14,000 magazines and journals. Well, trying to find a specific article or information on any given topic without some sort of index system would prove to be a monumental task. The periodical index section provides you with the tools you'll need to access information from many of these subscriptions. Now let's talk about how to use those tools. Let's say that you're writing a paper about solar heating. Well, magazines and journals would certainly contain more recent information than books. But you still have to decide which magazines and which articles within those magazines will help you. Here's where to begin: the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature. These volumes contain references to general interest magazines like Time, Newsweek, Popular Mechanics, Scientific American, National Geographic, well, magazines that are familiar to most of us. The Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature lists articles alphabetically by subject. We're looking for information on solar heat, so let's grab a recent index. Now, a list of all the magazines indexed by the Reader's Guide is listed in the front. Okay, turning to the S's, we should find solar heat. And look, a whole list of articles. Notice the listings present the title of the article, the author, if there is one listed, the name of the magazine the article is in, the volume number, the page number, and the date the magazine was issued. Oh, here's an article titled Summer and Winter, It Makes Solar Sense, and it's in a magazine called Sunset. Now, I'll write down all the information on it so that when we're up on the third floor, I can demonstrate how to find it. Oh, but first let's make sure the library carries that magazine. To do that, we can check the reference tool, which is kept here on the index table. We refer to it as the serials list. It provides a list of all the journals which are in the library, what years we have, and where they're located. Here's another device that serves pretty much the same purpose as the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature. It's called the Magazine Index. The main difference is that the material indexed here usually goes back only 5 years. Both the Magazine Index and the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature will provide access to anything in general interest type magazines and journals. But what if you're researching a very specific subject that is not of general interest? Something like junior high school administration, or the role of Northern blacks in the Civil War, or the multiplier effect in the development of Keynesian economic theory. Well, those subjects probably won't be in general interest type magazines, but they will be in specialized or scholarly journals. Accordingly, there are indexes which list articles from those specialized periodicals. And here are just a few: Education Index, Business Periodicals Index, Social Work Research and Abstracts. Well, you can see there are quite a few of them. Two that will be of particular value to you are shelved here near the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature: the Social Sciences Index and the Humanities Index. Both are organized much like the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature. They just list articles from more specialized journals. Let's look at the Humanities Index, for example. It indexes such areas of study as history, folklore, language and literature, philosophy, religion, and other related subjects. Let's say you want to write a paper about the history of motion pictures. Well, the Humanities Index would be the place to start. Since entries are listed by author and subject, let's turn to the subject of motion pictures. There you'll be referred to periodicals like the American Film, Quarterly Review of Film Studies, and the Journal of Contemporary History. The magazines represented by these abbreviations are listed in the front of the index. The Social Sciences Index is a reference guide for such areas as anthropology, economics, environmental studies, psychology, sociology, and other related areas. And like the Humanities Index, the Social Sciences Index lists articles by author and subject. Oh, before we leave this area, just note that across from the periodical indexes is a whole section that indexes nothing but newspaper articles. The important thing for you to know at this point is that these indexes are here, and they list articles in much the same way. These indexes will be of tremendous value to you as the semesters go by, so it's important for you to become familiar with their use. Okay, on to another area. The area being colored in now is the microtext room. In this room, you'll find spoken word records, microfilm, microfiche cards, and videotapes. Also located in this room is the equipment you'll need to use these non-paper resources. Most often, the microtext room is used by students to view back issues of newspapers. Storage of thousands of newspapers each year is impractical. So, after a few months, daily papers are transferred to microfilm, then kept here for storage and convenient viewing. Okay, so far we've talked about the card catalog, the reference alcoves, the periodical indexes, and the microtext area, all of which are located on the first floor. Another valuable service available on the first floor is located right outside the microtext area. Copy machines. They're available at a minimal cost per copy. Also on the first floor is the current periodicals room. Current issues of approximately 6,000 magazines and journals are shelved here. They're organized alphabetically by the title of the journal. So, that's a brief overview of the library's first floor. Generally, that's the place where your search for information will begin. But the library has 5 floors and dozens of resources, services, and specialty areas that are important for you to know about. I'm going to conclude this program by taking you on a special floor-by-floor tour of some of the major areas of interest on each floor, just so you have an idea of what's where. But then I encourage you to walk through the entire library and familiarize yourself with some of the areas that might be of eventual use to you. All right, we're going to start on the 5th floor and work our way down. Now, the 5th floor is comprised almost entirely of books. Those having call numbers beginning with A through E are located on the east side, and books having call numbers from F through Z are on the west side. There is one exception. Books beginning with the letter P are located down on the 4th floor. Now that we're here, why don't we find that book we looked up earlier in the card catalog, Myths of the Origin of Fire. The call number is GR 495 F7 1930A. Well, since the call number doesn't begin with a P, the book should be here on the 5th floor. And I would expect it to be right down this aisle. Okay, let's see, 495, excuse me, 495. Aha! Myths of the Origin of Fire. Okay, so remember, books with call numbers beginning A through E are on the 5th floor's east side. and books with call numbers beginning F through Z are on the 5th floor west side. Now you recall that I also mentioned that any book whose call number begins with a P is on the 4th floor. So let's go down there. Excuse me, please. See if I got. Oh, get on the police! Oh, excuse me, ma'am. On this overview of the 4th floor. On this overview of the 4th floor, you'll notice that the P call number books are on the west side. The other side is called the graduate reading room. Now, the important thing to remember is that most of the books in the main library are located on the 4th and 5th floors. Going down. Going down. Oh, 3rd floor. Things really start getting interesting here. Among other things, the 3rd floor is the home of special collections, government publications, and the map room. On the east side is where the bound periodicals are kept. Although recent magazines and journals are on the 1st floor, most of the library's magazines and journals are located here. Now remember that article we found in the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature titled Summer and Winter It Makes Solar Sense? It was in a magazine called Sunset. Let's see if we can find it. These volumes are arranged alphabetically by journal, so it should be right over in this area. Let's see, Sunset. Okay. Here's the volume it should be in. Oh, note that each volume contains several issues. All right, our index information told us that the article should be in the September issue, page 94, and so it is. Well, that was certainly easy. Now let's take a real quick look at some of the other areas on the 3rd floor. On the very north end of the 3rd floor is the Government Publications Department. This is where numerous publications from national and state governments are housed. Also to be found here are publications from international organizations. The map room is also on the 3rd floor. Here you'll find atlases, geographical reference works, and a detailed map of just about every place on the planet Earth. Okay, on to the 2nd floor.
There's a lot to do and learn and see when you check into the library. All the card catalogs
let's
on
take
the
the
1st floor,
stairs.
plus magazines, newspapers, journals, and more. Periodical indexes are right.
The 2nd floor is commonly called the undergraduate library. It consists of a large number of books, especially selected to meet the needs of undergraduate students. However, be aware that undergraduates are welcome to use any of the books in the library. As you can see, the 2nd floor serves as a popular study area. Also on the 2nd floor is the reserve book room. It's located on the northwest side. Now, if an instructor tells you that they've put a book or an article on reserve at the main library, this is where you'll find it. Usually, reserve materials can only be checked out for 2 hours at a time.
Library. At the library.
Okay, that brings us back down to the ground level and the last stop on our tour, the checkout area. Checkout areas are located on the main floor at either the north or the south end of the building. But there are 2 other important services provided here: putting a book on recall and searching for a missing book. Let's suppose a book you're after isn't on the shelf where it's supposed to be. Use this beige phone. It will put you in touch with the circulation department. They'll tell you if the book's checked out. If it is, they'll recall it for you. If the book is simply missing, they'll initiate a search. Now, recalling a book or initiating a search will usually take 7 to 10 days, so be sure to give yourself plenty of lead time. Now let's say that you did find the book you were after and you want to check it out. First, take one of these cards, one for each book, and then stamp the information from your student ID onto it. Then, in the appropriate space, write the title, call number, and author. Oh, also include your address and student status. Okay, that brings us to the end of this tour. I realize we've covered a lot of information in a brief period of time, and at this point it may all seem a bit overwhelming. But be assured, with a little practice, your library skills will rapidly improve. And don't forget, there are people who can help you solve most of the problems you're unable to handle yourself. Just remember, this library system contains an almost unlimited amount of information. Knowing how to access that information is crucial to the successful completion of your academic career. I hope this program has helped you toward that end. Good luck.
Check it out at the library.
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
Check it out.
At the library.
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
Now there's a lot to do and learn and see when you check into the library. All the card catalogs are on the first floor, plus magazines, newspapers, journals, and more. Periodical indexes are right there too for research projects that it'll help you. Reference alcoves are right nearby, so's the microtext room. Just give them a try.
Check it out.
At the library.
Check it out where?
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
That's right. Talk to me now.
Check it out.
At the library.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
Now, if it's stacks of books that you want to peruse, just go upstairs on an elevator cruise. There's aisles and piles of books to behold. Why, it's the brain bank of the School of Black and Gold. The older magazines, they're not on the ground. They're on the third floor, all nice and bound. The map room, reserve room, and government docs. This don't have to be the School of Hard Knocks.
Check it out.
At the library.
Check it out.
At the library.
Well, that's right. Well, that's right.
Check it out.
At the library.
Check a book, check a book, check a book.
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
Wow! You got to talk to me. Step back. Step up. Mercy. What? Oh, wrong. So remember, all of you students or the new, this library is here just to serve you. And if you need help, there's no need to pout. Stop at reference information. They'll help you out. Now that's the end of this library presentation. Here's hoping you're an academic
At the
sensation.
library.
Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Oh, check it out.
At the library.
Grab a book,